Good evening, people. Welcome to another show. I don't know how many shows we've done this week, but it seems like I'm here every day, and so are the boys. And I'm sorry, I must apologize. We've how many minutes? 10:40 we were supposed to go. It's taken 8 minutes behind in the backstage, and we've been taking turns how to pronounce his name. So I think we've got it. I think. But Jake was best one. Jake, do you want to go ahead? How do you pronounce
Good to go.
Kvaratskhelia name? Is that a decent effort?
Yeah, that's good enough from you. From you, I can't expect any better than that. That's pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and stick with that for tonight. Kvara, we can go with Kvara.
They call him Kvaradona.
I was just about to say a lot of people, as admin backstage says, 8 minutes is a record. To be fair, which it is to be honest. Mo asks, "Do you think this is PR?" There'll be plenty of questions, but yeah, before you fire away with the questions and do engage 100%, like you always do, you smash that like button. I get told off all the time by the boys and friends and family that we do not ask enough. So until you relax, before you relax, smash that like button because it helps us. You know how the algorithms works. And next time, if the next best thing after this smashing like is, I think you can turn the notification bell, can't you, Sarib? You're new to the YouTube space now. Maybe that's a good sort of segue to give yourself a plug. But go for it, man. You've launched a new YouTube page, not YouTube page, YouTube channel. But before I should stop talking about it, you should tell everyone else listening and who's going to be listening later on where they can find you and what's it called.
Thing is, I wasn't even gonna do it. But obviously, guys,
we got some competition now.
no,
I'm only joking.
I know where my loyalties lie. But
yes, man.
Obviously, these beautiful people here have given me a platform. Asim, Gene, especially, this is their channel, and they picked me out of nowhere. Decided to give me a shot on this channel, and it's just been up since. So I appreciate all of the stuff that they're giving me. I've decided to start my own channel as well. It's just sarib.k. You can put it in the search bar. I'm going to be posting loads of Liverpool content, loads of football content, of all the best football content creators online.
Loads of Arsenal content. Get it right.
See, I wasn't even going to do it, but yeah, guys, just do check it out. Make sure you like, subscribe. But I wouldn't be able to do it without these two and Jake and Avi pushing me to go and make my own channel. So it's credit to these guys as well, because I'd still be sitting on my ass doing nothing. But they told me to go and do it. They said I have the balls to do it, and that I have the way to do it, and they pushed me to do it, and I've decided to do it. And if it fails, it fails. But I can at least say I tried.
Yes, man. So head over to his channel and show him some love and support. It's not often, Jake, when Paul Joyce tweets, David Ornstein came out with the bomber himself first, that Liverpool are monitoring, Liverpool are considering. Are you getting excited?
Yes. Are we getting excited? I can speak for a lot of different people and say yes, resoundingly. We were just on here yesterday talking about how we didn't think we were going to sign anybody, and not to say that this deal is over the line, but just these tweets in itself are enough to get us excited. We know how this club operates. We know we're a tight-lipped club, and we don't leak information for no reason. So if Joyce and Ornstein are coming out and stating our interest, I think it's safe to say that at the very least, there's significant interest on our side, if not to say that this deal is probably even further advanced than they're letting on. So I think it makes sense in a lot of different ways. I was just on here last night talking about how, excuse me, we need some more productivity from our attackers, and that we couldn't rely on basically half of the attackers that we have in the squad right now. So for us to bring in another attacker, I know it's not the biggest need that most people are looking at, but at the same time, I understand, I don't know if everybody understands this, that the way that we operate in the transfer market isn't really based on need. If it was based on need, we would have signed, multiple midfielders over the course of the last, couple of windows. I know we signed some, but some different midfielders, excuse me. And at the same time, at least, some defensive players, a center back, if not a left back. So we don't really operate in the transfer market based on need. We operate based on opportunity. And this seems like a brilliant opportunity. And I'm not surprised that we're in negotiations, or at least have some interest. Mute.
Gene, this player has been on the laptop. We've been monitoring him for a while. But he always had a transfer tag on him around about 80, 90 million pound. And I always thought, are Liverpool going to fork out that money? But it's been talked about an opportunistic signing. And when it sort of is getting branded like that, then it won't be around that money. And I don't know exactly how Napoli's finances are like, but if it's around about 40, 50 million, but how do you see this signing? Do you see this as it's going to come in, the player's going to come in January and someone's going to leave? Because we can't have 7 attackers, can we?
If I'm honest with you, Asim, I look at the, you're talking about the fee. The fee that was spread about was, you're talking around 80 million euros, which is around 70 million pounds. And if you actually break that down, if I'm honest, Asim, and if I'm looking at the players that are going to leave, I think you're looking at fee-wise, look, we're looking to get around 20, 25 million plus for Ben Doak, right? Then you've got Darwin Núñez, who were told around 40 million pounds. If you saw, that's around 65 million pounds there. And I think that makes sense, especially for this season. In January, that makes sense because Diaz can play the 9, Jota's fit, Kraver will come in, and for as a 4th choice number 9, we've got Dan's there as well. So that, and if it really needs to be, then Gakpo can play there because you've got Kraver to play on the left. So I would do that deal more than anything else. And I know people are, and they've come out and said that Chiesa is linked to Napoli as well in terms of loan. I think Liverpool keep Chiesa. I think they want to give Chiesa a shot. It was a 12 million pound signing. It's a player that sort of makes sense, and you know what? It might happen still. I know people are gonna be like looking at me like, "What the hell are you talking about? You haven't played a game," all that sort of stuff. But I just think it might work where they're gonna keep Chiesa till the summer. If a bid comes in for Darwin Núñez with the obligation to buy, then yes, I think they will take it. And then you've got the Ben Doak money. So I think it's a Doak plus Núñez equals Kraver.
You think Núñez has got a chance to leave in January then?
Yes, I think January is, if we get a decent offer from AC Milan with an obligation to buy in the summer, which is going to mean us getting Kraver, we'll do it.
Sarib, let's talk about the player. You've got some stats that you want to bring up. Let's see what sort of output that he brings over the course of the last 2-3 seasons. Have you got it ready?
Yeah, I've got it right here. Yeah, so he's been obviously 3 seasons, and you can see like he has, especially in the last 2 years, the 22-23 when Napoli won the league and they absolutely thrashed us. I know we all watched that game when Kvaratskhelia ran rings around us in that 4-1 win in Naples, and then he came to Anfield, a really good game as well. You can see 34 matches, 12 goals, 10 assists. He is heavy in outputs, 24 G in 34 games. It's probably less. He's probably started with those games as well. Then the season after that, he gets 11-6 in a struggling Napoli side, which I think is still pretty decent. He's almost hitting 20 G in 34 games, which again for a wide player is pretty good. And this season he's got 5-3 in 17, and that's just the league form as well. So, and on top of that, Asim, I think he passes the eye test, is what everyone calls it, the eye test. He passes the eye test. He has good numbers. He's going to be playing in a team that create a load of chances. Surely those numbers go up.
And he's 23, Sarib.
23. Me and Kvaratskhelia, if he lived in England, we'd be in the same school year, and I think that's insane.
Jake, I did a bit of research on Kvaradona. Let's call him Kvara, because we don't want to butcher his name for the rest of the show. The eye test. Let's just take that off, Sarib.
Yeah, we'll do.
So we can see the Liverpool laptop can scale him. It's been common knowledge that he's been a player that Liverpool have been monitoring for a while. But when I did a bit of research on him, the underlying numbers weren't great. What I mean by that is, and remember, bear in mind that we were looking, this player was looking at around 80, 90 million pounds. And I thought Liverpool that's not their model. If you're scoring 25 goals a season, 10 assists, 15 assists, then it's a different case. Someone like Isak, for example, judging going by this season, whether Liverpool do that is another question. But going back to Kvaradona, he seemed like, judging by his underlying numbers around about 6 months ago, he's a high volume type of winger in terms of his output, in terms of shots, but he has low value on those shots. so the shot locations are not great. Where Liverpool, that is not their model. What they rather do is someone like Anthony Gordon, where you have underlying numbers is good, and then they can scale you up. That is how data analysis, how the laptop works. Is they need it for him. They need to reduce his shots and increase in value. So it's going the other way. And I think you can do that for someone, whether mainly if it's a 30, 40, 50 million pound type of project, or go scale them up way the other way, which is very, very common. Someone like Anthony Gordon, who doesn't have a lot of shots, but his value in them were very, very good. So, but if you do what you need to do with Kvaratskhelia, is you need to do you limit him? Do you take that unpredictability out of the player? It's got a few question marks, but I'm all in for it if it's a 40, 50 million pound player, because the eye test told me, especially in the Euros, where it gave me
40, 50 million pound.
Is that what it's
You think you're gonna get Crava for 40, 50 million quid?
to be fair,
what is the fee that they're talking about?
70 million pounds,
80
man.
million euros package, Asim.
80 million euros. Just take 40 million.
No, but
40 million pounds.
if we sell an attacker, we get half of that back. I think we get.
That's what I said. We get 25 for Dork.
That's what I said.
65 million out there.
Okay,
He's saying bring him in for 40 million quid. Where's he getting his 40 million from?
I tried to save you.
Yeah,
I tried to save you.
I've just come back from badminton. I'm not seeing the fee.
If you think we're asking for 30 million for Dork, yeah, you think you're gonna buy Crava for 40 million?
They're asking 100 million for Gordon.
Okay, scrap that then. Let's even talk about 70 million. Gene's right. If we're gonna let go of Dork, I don't think Liverpool are maybe. My prediction is, Jake, and it's just a feeling. I had the same feeling last summer, and there's been talk about Diaz leaving and wanting a Barcelona move. There's been talk about him rejecting a 2-year deal as well, an extension on his 2 years left at these in the summer. I think personally, Diaz leaves, but so many fans will have a different opinion. Maybe we don't even extend Diaz, we don't even extend Jota. But where do you see? Obviously, the short term is getting 25 million to 30 million for Dork. But where do you see Liverpool recouping the next 30, 40 million pounds?
I don't think it's another 30 or 40 million pounds that they're going to recoup. I agree with you, and I think Diaz is the one that's out of the door. And the reason why I think that is for a few different reasons. Number one, as you mentioned, we've heard these rumors this past summer. He's already 28 right now, so he's obviously going to be 29 sometime this season. His value, with the way that he's performing right now, is at an all-time high. He's not going to be more valuable than he is right now. What I think the club is thinking is Diaz wants more money because he's on very low wages right now. He's outperforming his current contract. And B, it's not a surprise to anybody that he probably wants to go to Spain. Most likely Barcelona is the club that we've heard. So from the club's perspective, if Diaz is 28, soon to be 29, whenever that is this year, and he wants to leave and or be on higher wages, and they can sell him and bring in a younger and better version of him in Kvara, why not do that? I think that's the thinking that the club has in mind. This is what I was talking about a few minutes ago when I said it's an opportunistic buy. This club doesn't operate based on need. They're not looking at the transfer market saying, like the rest of us are, we need a midfielder, we need a center back, we need a left back, whatever the case might be. They're looking at the market and saying, where can we find a deal? And I'm not saying this is the right way to operate. I'm telling you, this is how the club does operate, whether we like it or not. So if they're saying we can get rid of a 28-year-old attacker and bring in a better 23-year-old attacker without spending any money, we're going to go ahead and do that, because they're either going to have to increase Diaz's wages or bring somebody else in that's younger and better on increased wages. And if they can sell Diaz for 70, which I think they can, and bring in Kvara for 70, it's a win-win.
I think what also helps us in this Kvaratskhelia deal, it might not happen, but I think something to pay attention to is that he's on I think Jake, I don't know if you mentioned it, Jake, he's on very, very low wages at Napoli. He's on peanuts at Napoli. He's on about £30,000 a week at Napoli. And Fabrizio Romano tweeted that Paris Saint-Germain are going to 4 times £30,000 a week. And when you hear they're gonna, quadruple his wages, it sounds like they're gonna offer him £500,000 a week. But when you understand that he's on 30k a week, it's peanuts. And if he goes to Liverpool, he will be on 70. Chiesa's on 130 at Liverpool, and Kvaratskhelia, I think, is probably one of the best wide attackers, left wingers in Europe. I think Vinny, Leao, Kvaratskhelia, there's not many, and he is one of the three that I would love at Liverpool. And if he's on that wage, Asim, that age, no rhyme intended, and he's got those stats, and you say it won't really cost us anything if we sell Nunes and Doak, etc. It might fund the deal. Why would he not do the deal? It's a no-brainer, and he's available on the market. It's absolute no-brainer deal to do.
Well, who do you think leaves then? But before you say that, tell me how much you've seen of him. Every time I've seen some of him, obviously his matches against Liverpool, we had a close look at him. He reminds me of like an old school winger, and what I mean about that is I think Slot realizes that there is a lack of 1v1 threat in this Liverpool team. I know Diaz has obviously been playing inside for the last month or so. Gakpo, he comes inside. But what reminds me of Kvaratskhelia is he doesn't mind coming inside, and he doesn't mind, which I really love about him. One, he attacks space in behind, and he's got the appetite for that. We also, if he can stand a man up with his, that's a good shout. It's a very good shout by Wild Thing, and that's a more difficult name to pronounce, so I'm not going to even try. Kanchelskis, something like that. Anyway, well, we don't mention ex-Man United players on this show, but it's a good shout. But what it reminds me of, Sarib, is he can do both. He can stand a man up and go on the outside, and he can come inside. And I read a tweet, I don't know who it's from, that he's got output with his right foot, and he's got output with his left foot. And there was a comment by our very own Unks from Luton. He always complains I don't put his comments up. Here's a shout. He thinks we're interested in Kvara because Mohamed Salah might leave. What do you make of that?
I mean, if I don't think he's a direct replacement, because I think when you look at Mohamed Salah's numbers and his attributes as a player, I think very, very hard to replace. I think it might take 2 or maybe 3 players to replace Mo Salah. But if he's one of those, alongside maybe someone else that we get, maybe a Nico Williams or something like that, maybe that's more, you can understand that. But if he's not a direct replacement for Mo Salah. First of all, they don't play on the same side. First, Kvaratskhelia operates from the left, Salah operates from the right. So it's just completely different kind of, way of looking at it. But that makes sense to me, though. 23-year-old attacker. You look at the age range of our attackers. Salah's the only one in his 30s. You look at Nunes, he's 25. Diaz is 27, 28. Chiesa's around the same age. Jota's around the same age. Maybe they want to keep that balance. And obviously, Mo Salah is 32, heading to 33 in the last stage of his career. But having said that, Mo Salah is a different profile. He's an exception to the system. He shouldn't be doing what he's doing at his age. We shouldn't even be thinking about replacing Mo Salah. But again, we know how this club like to operate. They look at age. They look at numbers and age. They do it all by a computer system, and they think in the next couple of years Salah's numbers will decrease. By the way, there's been no signs of that. Let's be clear. Like, this is his best scoring at this point ever in his whole career. So like I said, he's an exception to the system. They can't. I'm telling you, Edwards, Hughes, Slot, they're sitting probably on the computer. Hughes and Edwards, especially, they're sitting on the computer. They think, how is this guy doing this? What? Our computer's always right. What is Mo Salah? So no, I don't think he's a direct replacement for Mo Salah. But I can see the thinking behind it. I can definitely see the thinking behind it, because look at his age. You can't deny that they're completely different ends of their careers. Carrara's coming up, Salah's going out. So,
Gene, do you see so much activity where Diaz leaves, Nunes leaves, Doak leaves?
Nunes isn't for now. Diaz isn't for now. So if we bring in Kvara, Nunes is we know practically he's definitely probably going to leave now or the summer. I think he goes now. In regards to Diaz, we'll never sell him in January. He will stay because he can play the 9, and he will stay until the summer, where a decision will be made. If he signs, he signs. If not, he goes. Like Jake mentioned, I think that's where we stand with this player. If Diaz wants to go in the summer, he can leave. We recuperate the money, and with that money, we go and buy a 9, because now we've got Kvara and Gakpo, and then you use that money to go and actually go and buy a 9. We can't let Diaz go now, but we can let Nunes go now. Look, in terms of you mentioned Salah's replacement, no, for me that doesn't. If Salah plays on the left hand side, he plays on the right. I'll tell you where he really impressed me, Asim, in the Euros for Georgia. I watched every single Georgia game, and he was sensational. It felt like he was carrying them at times. There was another Georgian player. I forgot his name, guys, obviously, because their names are difficult to pronounce. Yeah, I was really impressed with him, and there was another one where he was some
the
player.
keeper isn't bad.
The keeper was good. We all in the Mama we know about, but there was an outfield player. Yeah. And they really, really impressed me. And I felt as though he really he carried that Georgian side at times. And I was, again, he impressed me. Look, I love the kid. I would love for Liverpool to sign him. I know there are other areas people have mentioned, why are we going for a striker? Why are we going for a forward player when there are holes in the number 12? Not holes, but especially in the left back area, there's holes. But we need a number 6 to help grab out. And I get that point. Look, I'm all for that.
That's his name, Gene. That's his name. Muka Tuesday, or whatever. He plays for Ajax. He's a striker.
There you go then.
That's the one.
Mika Tuesday. That's it. There was 2. I remember there were 2 that were really good. Yeah. And so that's what it then. See, then these guys are coming with all sorts of names now.
Can you pronounce that, please? Look, we have to pronounce the names, man.
Mikutadze.
Yeah, that is. Carry on.
You want me to really pronounce it? There you go. Yeah. But Asim, I'm all in for the transfer. I'll always be for a transfer like this. Yeah. So let's go with him. I'd be over the moon if he.
He was at Ajax last season.
Carry on.
That's actually comment of the day, mate. But people have mentioned, just a quick one, Asim, before you go. People are mentioning PSG. Yes, PSG.
Have you seen Fabrizio's tweet, Gene?
Let me pull it up as well.
No. Yeah,
Because
listen, if Ornstein and Joyce
here.
have come out with it, yeah, it's not about busting, but if Ornstein and Joyce, they will never. I can't see us coming out. We are not going to get shafted in the transfer market again on purpose if there's just bullshit. Asim.
Let's have a look at this, boys.
Gene, you can't deny Fabrizio's connections in Italy.
I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is, what did he actually say?
He says direct negotiations with PSG are ongoing.
What time was this?
This was around about an hour ago.
Yeah, this was
okay. That's Asim. We know about PSG's thingy. Okay, that's now literally 20 half now. Yeah, right. We know about PSG's interest because this isn't new to us. This PSG news isn't new. PSG were in for Krava in the summer. They had the personal terms practically agreed, like they have now. So it's nothing new that this is all that PSG want him. It's old news. The thing is, when Liverpool come in, it changes the narrative now because Liverpool will go in. The player might actually want England over France, which is doable. If Liverpool are willing to offer Chiesa 130, like Sarib mentioned, and we're offered and if PSG are giving him 175 or 180, whatever it's been, and we give around that sort of mark, it still makes sense. He's going to Liverpool. He's going to play in the Premier League and not playing in a Farmers League, the French league. I don't have a go. Sorry for calling it Farmers. People really, really rate that league, but anyway, there's always one team that generally wins it, right? It doesn't really make sense. That the big thing is this one here. His mate Mamadashvili's here, so that's a big thing. He's got his mate here. It just makes perfect sense for him to come to Liverpool rather than PSG, and you're getting the same sort of dough. You're going to one of the best sides in world football. I can't see him choosing unless he gets £250,000 a week plus. Yeah, where PSG have literally thrown money that he chooses them over us. I can't see that happening, boys. I'll be honest with you.
I have a question for DJ. Do you think Kvara has been on our radar for longer than we think?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody in the world of football has been on our radar for longer than we think.
Okay, that's
for sure. The point that I want to make, piggybacking on what Gene is talking about, we know how this club operates. We're a tight-lipped club. What is the purpose of going public with Ornstein and Paul Joyce and saying we have interest in this player if the club knows this player, according to what Romano was saying, according to what you guys are trying to insinuate, if the player is getting ready to close a deal with PSG, what's the point of going public that we have interest in him?
Can I just interject, Jake? there's been, just to throw it back at you, there's been a few comments about it's just a PR stunt. Do you agree?
Wouldn't shock me though.
That's probably the best argument somebody could come up with to answer the question that I just posed. So yeah, that would answer that question. That doesn't mean I agree that it's a PR stunt, but that's one possibility. I can't sit here and tell you that that's not a viable possibility. But like Sheen said, I mean, what's the purpose of going public and getting embarrassed in the transfer market again? Coming out and saying we have interest in this player, then let's just say, 24 hours from now or 48 hours from now or even a week from now, the player signs for PSG. Then the fans are thinking, what the hell's wrong?
Hughes is gonna get pelters from us, man. Imagine messed up on Zubimendi. Well, look, I don't want to say messed up, but rejected us. Yeah, to stay. Yeah, this guy. Why would you let it out? It makes no sense. Literally, I say, it makes no sense for them to let something like this out. And if Ornstein and Joyce have come out, look, we want the player. I don't buy this PR business right now. Yeah, I know I've had my heart broken plenty of times by this football club, especially in this transfer market with players, Caicedo, all that type of stuff. But you know what? We love to get our heart broken. We know what? We're all in. Yeah, we're gonna go and sign this player, and I'm not gonna buy this PR stunt. We're going all in. Hopefully, Hughes pulls something out of the hat, and we get it over the line.
You talked about Romano's links in Italy. Well, you don't mention Hughes' links in Italy.
That's true as well. Very good. Very, very good point.
Fair enough.
Very, very good. Well done, Jake.
Fair enough. And plus, Chin, the PSG links, obviously there's direct negotiations going on. But if I was Kvara, I know we've got Gakpo playing on the left-hand side. I know we've got Diaz. But I believe we've had, I believe that this guy's been on our radar and may even have talked to the club on an unofficial level, as we do with many players. But with PSG, every time I've seen them, they've got that kid Barcola playing for him.
I actually mentioned this to the guy on the, I think it was here or on the not here, sorry, on the group chat. Barcola, or did I mention to you, Jake? Barcola is a really, really good footballer, Asim. I actually rate him highly. He's still really, really young. He's got a lot of potential and he'll grow and become bigger. And we were told that PSG are buying all these young Frenchmen, bringing them together, all that sort of thing, trying to create the Bayern Munich of Germany, and bringing that into PSG. So I'm like, why would they go and buy another player when you've got Barcola? It doesn't make sense.
That's
but then you can throw, you can throw.
You muted yourself.
We've got bloody Diaz and Gakpo sat there, so why the hell can't they? If they can go and do it.
No Gakpo.
But I don't think Barcola is going to leave PSG. But if they've had those, and Kvara obviously is entitled to be asking those questions, like, where do I fit into this team? And if Diaz has made or had conversations with Liverpool, obviously they're not really public or official. But if Liverpool are moving for a player like him, surely they know something about someone in their squad, no?
Makes sense. It makes too much sense.
Wait, man, Mike, something. Wait.
Whether that's
Mike, all right.
Whether that's Nunes, whether that's Diaz, I think a lot of players' futures are uncertain. And look, I know it's naive to just believe silly reports, but like Chiesa being linked to Napoli, he might not be the one that goes, but it makes sense. If Kvaratskhelia goes to Liverpool, they need a new winger. Chiesa can play off the left. Chiesa's not had a minute at Liverpool, basically.
But what is the difference if Chiesa goes or not? You're talking about a £10 million player. Let's not act like this is going to be.
No, but the point Asim made is we only sign Kvaratskhelia if one attacker leaves this window. And
they doesn't have to leave this window. What does it matter if an attacker leaves this window or the
no. And Sarib, just to clarify, I think it's possible for Liverpool to even sign this player and just go with 7 attackers. Just to get by to the summer, because they're not going to lose out if this is an opportunistic signing. We saw similar deals for Gakpo, similar deals for Diaz, where we fast-tracked it because Spurs got involved. We will do this again. If it means it's the right player, it's the right price, we will carry, because Chiesa's ill all the time anyway, let's be honest. But I think, and obviously if we get him, we'll be more open to a loan move, a sale for Chiesa. I think this is the thing, where a few Liverpool attackers have got a question mark and maybe a price. Every player has a price. We know that. but in particular, there's a few. We've all mentioned them. There's a question mark on Jota's 2 years left. What do we do with him? Are we just going to accept him just to get injured for 2-3 months of the season and just to keep him on those terms and maybe, let him go in 2 years? Diaz, I think we can get a resale value because there's a genuine interest. Maybe if Barcelona can sort their finances out, there's an appetite from the player to go. Nunes, some interest in Italy as well. But I think a 3-4 players, if we all predict now, and I know we're all going for Diaz, but if someone tells me, I think Jota and even someone like Harvey Elliott, I know it doesn't affect the forward line, but just to stick to the forward line in the meantime, if you say, I think Jota and Nunes leave and Diaz stays because Diaz can play that false 9, I think that's a case as well, Jake. A possibility, sorry.
Yeah, of course it's a possibility. I talked about it in the summertime. I said that there was going to be a revamping of this squad. And that's still how I feel right now. I mean, forget just the forward line. It's evident and you talked about the minutes that a lot of these players are playing. It's evident from the way that Slot is using these players that he doesn't have trust in a lot of players. He doesn't have trust in Harvey Elliott. He doesn't have trust in Endo, even though that's growing a little bit as we speak. He doesn't have trust in Kwanzaa. He doesn't have trust in Darwin Nunez, it appears. There are other players. I mean, the big three, obviously he has trust in those players, but those contracts are still not sorted out. He doesn't have trust in Chiesa. He's not fit. He hasn't barely played since he's been here. You're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 players who have question marks on their head for different types of reasons. So, they're not all going to be able to go in 1 week. You're not going to replace all of them. So anything can happen. Any of these players can go. It's just going to be dependent on, what deals they can get for each player and which deals they want to make and which deals they don't want to make.
Let's go around the table. I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. Sarib, give me Liverpool's forward line come the summer. I want 6 attackers.
So we've got Jota, Nunes, Diaz, Chiesa, Salah,
and Gakpo. He left him out. Shock.
No,
he doesn't like them.
Leave the best to last. You leave the best to last.
Give me your 6.
Mo Salah, Diogo Jota. Guys, by the way, keep a note of this. Clip this as well. Clip all of us. Comment section. One of you screen record your phone. Come back to this in a song. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's forward line, 25, 26. Mohamed Salah, Diogo Jota, Federico Chiesa, Cody Gakpo, Kvaratskhelia.
That's 6.
That's 5. There's one
6.
more. No,
oh,
5.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I wrote Gakpo twice. Bloody hell.
So you told you, even he's fallen.
I just thought you won 2 Gakpos. That's all.
Oh, we would, forget a team of Carragher's. I'd love a team of Gakpos. And I think number 6 will be a new signing, new striker.
So you think Nunes and Diaz leave?
Yeah. I think I don't know who the new striker will be, but I think we're gonna go into I hope it's Alexander Isak. 2033 says Isak. I hope it's Isak. Maybe not Asim because
give me something realistic. If you think it's gonna be Isak, because it's getting clipped. Remember,
Salah, Jota, Chiesa, Gakpo, Kvaratskhelia.
Listen, we need to go to sleep as well.
Liam Delap.
Ooh.
Or João Pedro.
Hasn't he got a long-term injury now?
It's one of those two, I think.
Okay. Gene?
Salah stays, so Salah, Chiesa, Kvaratskhelia, Gakpo, Kudus, and Openda. And Openda.
Hender and Kudus.
What do you think Jota leave?
Who you got rid of?
Jota.
You got rid of Nunes, you got rid of Diaz and Jota. Wow, you're definitely getting clipped. Jake?
Team.
Hello. No comment.
We've got some super chats to get through as well. Before you, I'll give you an extra minute or so, Jake. You just hold that thought right there. Rehan, sorry about the late addressing of this super chat. I think he sent it twice. No. Kvaratskhelia away from my club. Serie A attacks, 5 goals in 17 league appearances. We don't need him. We need a midfielder, a left back, and a centre back. Let me just go through a few more. Rehan sent another one. The amount of players that have flopped in the Premier League coming from Serie A, he's not better than Gakpo. Yeah, he's an upgrade on Nunes, but that's not hard. And another one from V2 Conje. Thank you very much for your super chat. Kvara played striker at the Euros very well too. Plus, being an inside.
Didn't I ask you these two that question before the show? I asked these two. I go, where did Kvara play in the Euros? Because I can't remember him always playing on the left hand side.
Just narrow. That's it. He wasn't playing up front.
I think Darwin Jota might be leaving in the future. Gakpo Diaz too valuable. So he
I need to check where he played.
So he thinks Darwin and he thinks Kvara will play up top for us if Jota and Darwin.
Asim, I remember him playing, and he was not always on that left hand side. I saw him through centrally so many times. I can't remember now, obviously, but he was playing centrally quite a lot. That's why before the show, I asked these two. I said, where would he play in the Euros?
Yes, narrow from the left.
Gene, I think he'll be like treated as like a Diaz. If, for example, if we need him out wide, we'll play him out wide. If we need him inside, he can play up top as well. And some of the comments as well, who probably watch him a lot more than we do, have said that he can play number 10 as well. How he plays at number 10,
5-3-2 with him up top with another
the left from the left.
So
two up top in it. I know it's from the left because he plays on that side, but you're playing. It's a 5-3-2. Bloody hell, you said left 3 times. I know that.
So he's not an out and out winger, is he, Sarib?
That's what I'm trying to get at.
He's playing inside, isn't he?
He's playing on the
so
inside.
who did he play? Who did he play with? Is he like, was he just playing off the
3-4-3? He was on the left that game.
You know, this is the same thing as what Gakpo was doing at the World Cup. Is exactly the same thing, and people misprofiled him saying he was a striker. He's not a striker.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about Kvaratskhelia to Gakpo shooting.
It's the same thing.
I do think I can see him playing inside as well. Sarib off someone.
Yeah, they did a 3-4-2-1.
I can see him in a 10 as well. I can see him.
I would just put it the way Arnie Slot uses his 10, especially under like a controlled environment where we got a lot of the ball. I can see that he's got legs, he's got an appetite to press. But whether he wants to do the way we play our number 10 to be covering, going and covering what the ground at Szoboszlai does, I don't think so. But it's definitely an option, especially if you're chasing a game, Jake. And he's comfortable on both flanks. And he can stay out wide for in situations when Salah is inside as well. So he does have flexibility, no doubt. I think we've more or less worked it out. Jake, give me your 6.
I'm gonna go with the same 5 that Sarib mentioned before he changed strikers. I think that 5.
Salah, Gakpo. Okay, so who's your 6th?
And then I think the 6th is João Pedro.
Yeah, it could be him.
Shout.
Okay.
But are you not concerned then, Jake, that
is he not injured again?
Yeah. No, he's going to Arsenal, no?
Like last day or two. Is it João Pedro that got injured or was it? Yeah, I'm sure it's him, not Cunha.
Cunha's not even, because Cunha's suspended.
Yeah, I'm sure I read something about him being injured again today. Anyway, go on.
I was gonna go for Openda as well, but I'll go with the same 5 as Jake and Thingy. So Salah, Gakpo, Jota, Chiesa, Kraver. I think we're gonna go for Alexander Isak in the summer.
I was going to mention Isak, but my question to you is, if we were offered him as a big if, I don't know if these reports are true, during the
long-term ankle injury,
we didn't make an approach for him. Why are we going to move for him now?
Oh, very good job.
Sorry, Brian Mbemo. Yeah, I think that's obviously looking at. I don't think Mbemo is Liverpool class or a Salah replacement. Maybe as a backup, yes, I can see it, but I won't better. I'm sorry.
Imagine Kvara, Isak, Salah from free.
But yeah, I think we might go for him. I don't think Arsenal can probably afford him. They've got some financial PSR issues that they need to sort out. Whether they can get rid of a few players, I don't know. But I think we can recoup a bit of money in the summer. I
think
also think
they need to miss out on the Champions League though.
yeah, I
They need to
also
miss out
think
on the UCL.
I
Newcastle.
also think now that I think there's a question mark and a price for Harvey Elliott in the summer. I also think there's a price for Jarell Quansah in the summer as well, Jake.
Yeah, I mentioned all these players. There's a price for a lot of players. There's question marks on a lot of our players. I mean, it's clear from the way that Slot is using these players that he doesn't fancy a bunch of them. And I talked about it again in the summer. It could be a mass exodus coming, whether it's all in one window or not. I don't know.
Kwanzaa's not good enough. And
Okay.
we're saying it for months. He is not good enough. I used to get cooked for it. He's not good enough. And now you're all seeing it. He's not good enough.
I'm
Well-
not gonna go to town on him just yet. He's still young, man.
He's not good
We can't just
I'm not
go
going
and
to
have
town.
a go.
You have
At
to
the end of the
understand
day, I
that
thought
Solly-
last
you have
season
to
I thought he did really well. But
By
a
the
couple of
way, just to
mistakes,
let you know,
he did pretty well.
the
He did well for half a season.
the Georgian journalists are quite confident that this player really fancies Liverpool. So
we
let's
go.
see. Let's see what happens. Any super chats? No. I want to ask you about Harvey Elliott and his role. Sheen. I know we discussed him, but and there's been talk. I think about I don't know who came out with the story, but he's definitely been in the transfer gossip columns. Mr. Harvey Elliott today.
Sky Sports.
Sorry.
I think it was Sky Sports.
Oh, the Sky Sports. Yeah, it was Sky Sports. Do you think Harvey Elliott will be here come the summer?
No,
Ooh.
I think he's out as well.
We've got a
Let's
lot of
just
work
wait.
to do.
We got a lot of work to do. But the thing is, this is what this. Well, I want to believe this, yeah, that these guys gave every player a year, wanted to see how well they've done, and will they fit in slot system, all that type of stuff. It's plain sailing to see which players which player slots like and which player slot doesn't like. You've got Endor, which will probably leave as well in the summer, Asim. You've got we forgot about him. Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
So there's so
What are we
many.
gonna do in
This
the
is
summer?
there's so
Just
many
to let
questions.
you know,
But I
we've got
think
some contracts to sort out as
because of
well.
versatility, I think he will stay. But I think if we get, and I think we will get a decent fee for obviously Harvey Elliott.
Let me mention
think
one thing about Harvey
That's a
Elliott.
shout.
That makes sense. That is a really, really good shout. I like that shout.
One
Yeah,
thing
come
on
on.
Harvey is I don't think that the manager fancies him too much, and I do think that he won't be here come the summer. However, if there's one player out of the entire list of names that I gave that have question marks on their head, I think Harvey's the one that's most likely to push to stay at this club.
Yes.
We know how much he
Very much.
enjoys playing here and how much he wants to play for this club. I don't think it's going to be very easy for the club to convince him to leave. I could very easily see him similar to kind of the Gomez situation where they really want to stay at the club and the club doesn't exactly force them out. He might push for another season to fight for a place in this team. That doesn't mean he's going to make it here. Just might make it hard for the club to sell him.
What if we bring in a lad called Morgan Gibbs-White, Sarib, in the summer, and Harvey Elliott sees that and thinks, how the hell do I get a game? Does his thinking change then?
You know what? It's very difficult to say that because he has said many times. Obviously, when he came to Liverpool, by the way, I don't know if anyone knows this or a lot of people know this, but he rejected Real Madrid. Real Madrid really were interested in signing him. They wanted to take him on trial, I think it was, or something like that, or Tribune or whatever it was. They wanted to sign Harvey Elliott, but he said no. Liverpool fan. He's been a Liverpool fan since his dad's this big Scouse as well. Grew up as a Liverpool fan. I think if you asked Harvey Elliott what his ideal situation would be, is to fight for my place. So I can't really answer that question for you because he rejected Real Madrid for Liverpool. Not many players do that, and he was a young player, so he had common sense. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to sign Gibbs-White. I just don't think Slot fancies Harvey Elliott because I don't think he thinks Harvey Elliott has the physicality to cope with the.
Morgan Gibbs-White does.
I think that's a lazy link as well.
Okay.
I don't see us going for him. Szoboszlai, we've got Jones in a 10. Maka can play as a 10. I don't really see us strengthening that position. I'll be honest. I think if we need a midfielder, it'll be a deep lying one. We're short there, not short in the attacking area. We're short.
What if he sees Jones from the left long term? Because I think that he's a lot better.
No, of course. And if he sees Jones as part on the left-hand side, if he sees Jones in the pivot, then maybe yes. But I'm looking at it right now where Jones has played majority of the season. That's been behind the striker, and he's been pressing us in the 4. So I don't know. And I think Jones in the 10 gives us a lot more control in attack. When you need Szoboszlai, it's a bit more intense. So I don't know. I'm seeing lots of shots for Cherky. Maybe that's another link. But again, is he a number 10? Another question you need to ask yourselves. So I don't know. I think with Elliott, it's a question for the summer, not for now.
Good to see. Good to see my friend Mizgan in the chat. If he's a numbers guy, and if I need some stats, numbers, and research, I do have to do it. He does it for me. Bless him. And go check out his Twitter account and give him a follow. He says, I've spoken to Harvey's dad a couple of times. He wanted to know about his numbers last season. I'd be surprised if Harvey goes this summer, loves this club, and would be ready to change his game. But that's the $1 million question. There's a lot of $1 million questions. Because we need a lot of millions by the time by the transfer activity you guys are talking about that Liverpool need to do in the summer. Jake, he's ready to do it. I believe that 100%. Can he change it?
No, I mean, let's just assume that we're right in the reason why Slot doesn't rate him, and that's because of lack of legs, lack of intensity, lack of ability to cover ground. You can't change that. That's not something that you can adapt into your game. You either have that ability physically or you don't. So no, I don't think that that's something he's going to be able to change.
Luke's asking for his super chat back. Let's go to the super chat before he creates a bigger fuss. I can't see anything from Luke. Oh, there it is. Kibriat first. Thank you very much for your super chat. Chiesa, thanks for coming. Ciao, Quaradonna. Marcus Barnes with another super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Quares might seem like an overkill, but by August, it may seem like really smart forward planning. I would expect a couple of forwards to leave this summer. Thank you very much. Luke, there it is, mate. Thank you very much. What Ornstein said is a carbon copy of what he said about Euro in the summer. Market opportunity, and how did that play out? Gene, Sarib, go for it.
But it's a carbon copy of the tweet he put for Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah, you got there before. We got a Gene, lad.
But let's go since signing a player. There is no bigger optimist than me. Yeah? So don't you worry, I've got a answer for everything to make it happen.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm a guy that likes to have his heart broken every now and again.
Let's get through the rest of them. Our very own Billy. Big up to Billy, man. Always in the chat and supporting the brothers. 25-26, right? Salah, Kudus, up top, Openda and Diaz and Kvaratskhelia and Gakpo on the left. So that's his 6. So let me just look at that again. Salah and Kudus. So he's selling Jota and Nunes. The shout, if we can afford
and Chiesa.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6.
Yeah, 6. But does it 6? Chiesa,
yeah, that makes sense because he's got Kudus as well, hasn't he? If we can afford Isaac, replace Obenda, sell Nunes, Jota, Elliott, Dork, and Kwanzaa. Thoughts, boys?
And Morton.
We're playing pretty football manager here. I'm telling you the way we're
You know what? Can I add? I think we need, for all this transfer activity, I think we need 6 sporting directors as well.
Whoa! Honestly, man.
Oh, was that a bomber?
Here we go. Paul Joyce bomber, somebody saying.
Luciana Scarpazzi, Semenya as a Salah backup. He's got very good underlying numbers, you know, Sarib. Every time I do a bit of digging, this guy pops up.
Forget the stats. I watch him and I'm impressed by him. I'll be honest. I watch him and I'm like, this guy's he's very raw, but I think what he has, you can coach him to become a better player. I think it's not like Sadio Mane, but I like to use his example where he's not at a team, you know, challenging for the title. It's touch and go with the European places. Very, very raw winger, very, very quick, can play either side, and has a goal or two in him. And I think Semenyo has all of those. And I think if you put him in a better team and you put him under a better coach, I think he could turn out to be a superstar.
You know how much he costs, Sarib?
Semenyo, no. Not sure, to be honest. I'm not seeing him link with anybody. That's why I can't. I don't even know his market value.
He's on the laptop. I can assure you of that.
I mean,
There's a long
you're the
spreadsheet.
expert. You might be working for FSG for all you know, Asim.
Jake, I think we'd finish it off with another question. Recency bias towards just put it to a side. If I gave you one name that you take between these two, who would you take on the wing for Liverpool? Kvaratskhelia or Anthony Gordon? If you had a choice.
I take Gordon.
Wow. So there goes our 50 minutes of flipping hyping this player up. He's just
Listen, don't misconstrue me. now.
Anthony
That-
Gordon all
let me
day,
see what the
mate.
chat says. Let me see. what the
Anthony
chat-
Gordon all day, mate.
He didn't start this season well though. That's why I said
Asim, he had all that. He had that. He had the
And we see a
Euros.
lot
Deep
more
down,
Gordon as well.
he wanted. Plus, Asim, he wanted to leave, man. He wanted to leave in the summer. He wanted to go to Liverpool. He didn't get his move. Then obviously he had that contract situation with Newcastle. The guy's turned up, and over the last 2 months, mate, the guy's been unplayable, unbelievable.
It's mainly.
I get it. Look, I get why people will say Cravadonna. But I'm
No,
telling you,
it's- no,
Gordon.
It's 50-50, I'd say, at the moment in the chat.
Yeah,
Gene,
Gordon,
you're
I'm-
the same guy who's been screaming output since October 27th. I think it's November, October 27th.
Okay, here we go.
Gakpo scored 10 goals. It's just behind the likes of
We're
Salah.
talking Kvaratskhelia and Gordon. What has Gakpo
Yeah, so my
got
point
to do
is,
with this?
we've got a better winger. We've got a better winger already at the club. So why would I want Anthony Gordon? Why?
So why would you want Kvaratskhelia? His
Because
stats.
Kvaratskhelia, in my opinion,
No. Wait. You could talk. You shut up now. Do you want to talk
Here we go.
numbers? You want to talk numbers?
You talk numbers. I don't talk numbers. You talk numbers. I don't talk
So then-
numbers. You
You
talk
just said
numbers,
to me,
not
well, you're the one that's bringing numbers into the plane.
Yeah,
into
because
this
you talk
equation.
numbers. If you listen,
Okay, let's
to
talk
my-
numbers. Go on, bring it up. No,
Take
let's
those
talk numbers.
AirPods out.
Let's talk numbers. Let's talk
Gene
numbers. Go on.
always says, I'm all
Let's
about
talk numbers now.
output. I'm all about
Give me the
output.
output.
I'm
Give me
all
the
about
output. Watch me school him now. Give me the output. Go on.
Output of what? Of
Talking
which player?
about now, bro. You've just gone quiet on me. You're the one that wanted to talk about something, and you've gone quiet on me without even questioning
Because
me.
You don't listen. You don't listen. You need to listen. You need to listen. You want Gordon over Kvaratskhelia, right? Yes or no?
Yes. And have you seen his numbers of the last 10 games? Have you
Over
seen
last
Gordon's
10
numbers of the last? Have you seen him? Gordon assists against all the big sides. Manchester United, well, we forget them. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever he's played recently, he scored or assisted.
Doesn't let me finish.
Man- No. I'm giving you numbers. You actually put the stats up in here saying Gakpo is the best left winger in the world and there's nobody close.
No,
I replied to
not
you.
world, not world.
You put up and
not
nobody's
world,
close.
not
I
world,
repl-
not world, not world.
In the Premier League, in the Premier League,
Stand
and
by
I
it.
replied to you saying, and I replied to you saying, well, how? I replied to you saying Gordon's numbers are Gordon of the last 2 months has been as good as anybody, and he has. His stats prove it, and his performances prove it. So your comment of in the league about Gakpo didn't make sense to me, and I replied to you.
Why?
It didn't, because you can't come up with you. So what was your reasoning behind it then? Stats.
You want output. I'm gonna find it for you right now. You want output, yet there's only been 5 players since October 27 that have scored more goals than Gakpo. But you want output. So
You have to provide
One-
context
Adi,
as well, Sarib.
Asim, 1 or 2
So
goals
you have to
more.
provide
Another
context
thing,
as well.
last season, Gordon's numbers, and show me Gakpo's numbers in the Premier League between Gakpo and what's his name, Anthony Gordon, and talk to me.
So
Go on.
all competitions,
Give me-
in
talk to
Europe's
me.
top 5
me
leagues since
to-
October 27th, top goal scorer is Mohamed Salah with 14. Second is Alexander Isak with 13, who is some people tout as the best striker in the world.
Why are you talking about the last 6-7 weeks? I'm talking about a longer period. Are we gonna bring somebody?
No. You said look at Gordon's numbers of the last 10 games. That's what
Because you were talking about the last 10 games.
That's exactly
At
what
that
you
time,
said.
if we
That's exactly what you go back to
because
last
that's when
season.
he scored a few goals.
Forget last
Yeah,
season.
take it back to let's take over a longer period. That
Why are
shows
guys
you a
talking
lot
about
more.
Gakpo?
No, we need
Gakpo's
to
not
score 20
going
goals
anywhere.
last season. You want him to be
I'm
on
talking-
We're talking about
One
now.
at a time, boys. One at a time. Order.
Now, Gene. There's only been 5, not even 5, 3 players that have scored more goals. than
Gakpo has
4.
been, but Gakpo, one second. Gakpo has been unbelievable over the last 2.5 months. My issue with you was when you said there's nobody close. You tweeted,
I agree.
yeah, nobody's close. And I proved to you that in the last 6-7 games, that there is a player called Anthony Gordon who is very close. And your reply was, oh, he's playing for Liverpool. Not anything else. Your reply was, he's playing for a bigger club, Liverpool, so he's better. That was your reply. I'm just going to bring up the tweet.
No,
Listen, you Sarib, you chat yarbles Everybody knows that. You chat yarbles. This conversation was supposed to be about Kvaratskhelia and what's his name?
Because if you
Right?
let me
But
finish,
you wanted to just bring Gakpo in.
if you
There's
let me,
people in the
Why
comments.
are we
1 second.
talking
There's
Gakpo?
people in the
Why are we
comments.
talking
There's people
Gakpo?
exactly. There's people in the
no.
comments that were
No,
50-50 about Gordon and Kvaratskhelia.
Don't
But
let
you
me
wanted to
finish.
ruin the show.
No,
You
no,
wanted
no,
to ruin
no,
the show to bring
no,
all
no.
your Gakpo shit in there.
No, you don't let me finish. You scream and shout. The comments
No,
agree
now
with you.
carry
You
on.
scream and
Did you
shout.
talk shit?
I'm not. You
Go on.
scream output.
Sarib, can your first guest on your own channel be Chin, please?
He's getting scolded.
Why are you talking Gakpo? It doesn't make any sense. He's not going anywhere. But what's the point of even bringing him into the conversation?
You're not listening to what I'm saying. If you guys listen and let me make my point, then you understand, Jake. I'm trying to listen. If he shouts every 5 seconds, I can't really speak, can I?
Okay, let him go. Let him
My
go.
whole point was he wants Anthony Gordon over Kvaratskhelia. Yes or no? Sheen is not
Yes.
me. Sheen is the one that screams, I want output from my forwards. I want output. Sheen, you can shout in a minute. I know you're dying to shout. He screams, I want output from my wingers, right? So then I said, you want output, yet we have a winger at our club, left winger already. That's the same position Anthony Gordon plays. That's since October 27th, because Sheen said 10 games and last season. So I'm going to go October 27th. There's only been 4 players in Europe's top 5 leagues that have scored more goals than him from left wing. Yes or no?
What does that have
Why
to do?
would you want Anthony Gordon when his numbers are worse? I don't care about output. I think Kvaratskhelia is a better player. But Sheen
What
says
does that have to
numbers. He
do?
wants numbers.
What does Gakpo have to do with Kvara versus Gordon? What is the point of talking Gakpo?
He said he'd rather have Gordon than Kvaratskhelia. He screams output. But we've got a winger already at a club that's got better output than Anthony Gordon. So why would you want Anthony Gordon? Doesn't make any sense.
He also has better output than Kvara. So what does that matter?
Yes, but
One second. Let me. Can I answer him?
I don't care about output.
Can I answer him?
I don't judge players on just stats.
Okay. Now, can I reply? Can I reply? I'll reply. He basically wants to talk Cody Gakpo. Okay, I'm going to speak to you about Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo has been at this club for 2.5 years. His output has been absolutely shit. I'm going to say exactly how it is for nearly 2 years in the Premier League. Yeah? And he's had a good 3 months. True? Let's face it, boys. Call a spade now and Sarib admit that over the... Because you've said his output's been shit. We all know that deep down. Yeah? You can say he's played as a striker, he's played left wing, right wing, left back, goalkeeper, whatever. Anthony Gordon, last season's stats, unbelievable for a guy that's gone to Newcastle. Unbelievable. Double figure goal scores, double figures in terms of assists. Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer the question.
In what position? Yes, in what position?
I'm not bothered about. Listen to me. You said to me, you want stats. I'm giving you stats. I'm not giving you positions, bro. Talk to me now. No. You said to me, come to me with G&A. I'm coming to you, bro. So when you're gonna come, don't say to me positions, this, that bullshit. Doesn't work, bro, with me. Don't wash. I'm coming to you with Gordon stats. This season, Gordon has got 9 GAs in 19 games, bro. That's nearly a goal and assist every 2 games. Ball, bache.
But on that list I saw in October 27 in Europe's top 5 leagues, because I didn't see Anthony Gordon's name. I saw.
I've given you his goals and assists 9 and 19. I've given you that. That for me. I'm happy with them stats, bro. I'm actually really happy with them stats.
But you know,
the guy that had a shite start for the first 2 months, we all deep down know that he wanted the Liverpool move. Last month and a half, the guy's been brilliant.
Sarib, our stats sometimes misleading.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why I don't base everything off stats. This is my point.
Okay,
I don't base
is that a fair point on Gakpo as well?
Yes. That's why I said.
All League Cup goals.
I would have Kvara over him because to me it's not all about stats. It's not all about stats. That's the point I was trying to make. It's not all about stats for me. It's not all about. Gene is the one that screams output, not me. I look at players, creation, etc. All these can take ons because these, and especially when you're playing on that wing.
Okay, tell me why you take Kvara over Anthony Gordon.
Because I think he's a better player. He's better to watch. I think when I watched him, he looked miles better than Gordon. Gordon's a bit more electric, gets in behind. Kvara's more ball to feet. But I like more aesthetically pleasing players, and Kvara is that. Kvara, what I saw him do to Liverpool a couple of years ago was unbelievable. Most of the time, whenever I watch Napoli play, which is not often, but whenever I seem to play, he always seems to stand out. He's more exciting on the wing for me. He can play in numerous numbers of positions really, really well. And at the Euros, I thought he was very, very impressive, and he
There's
wasn't
nothing
playing this
aesthetically
proper
pleasing
position.
about Cody
So-
Gakpo.
Listen, can I come in? You know, you mentioned Anthony Gordon. You mentioned, you know, Kvaratskhelia was amazing against us. He was. Kvaratskhelia.
Gene, you're gone on mute again.
Mike is
Your mic's gone. Looks like Liverpool need to give us some of their budget for a new mic.
I think Asim as well, Kvaratskhelia, he's more of a technical kind of winger, and I prefer those kind of players. It's not a knock to Gordon. I think Gordon's
nothing that you like. Everything that you talk about, you like in a winger.
Gordon. No, Gakpo's a very technical winger. He's very, very technical.
Jake, you chose Anthony Gordon,
He's
isn't
very,
it? Is he less risk-free as well because we've seen him performing in the Premier League? Is that a point to
100%.
consider?
You know, this is not my opinion, but a lot of people talk about, you know, how risky it is to buy from Italy, and there might be a little bit of credence in that. But you got a player who's already proven in the Premier League, and Anthony Gordon.
That's fair.
And that's a big piece to the equation, 100%. However, what I don't like is you bringing this question into the discussion because Kvara is going to come in here. And now you have me clip saying I'd rather have Anthony Gordon, and I'm happy with Kvara coming in here. So I don't want to talk about a player that we're not going to get. I want to talk about the player that we are going to get.
Okay, fair enough. Looks like Gene's not going to come back. He's got some mic problems. I think that's the wrap. But we got any super chats to go through?
I love the passion. We had to fight a bit. You know that we had to fight. Our first show.
No, you ruined the show today, man. We were Rahman, and it was an enjoyable show, yeah. But it was a question about Kvara and the flipping Anthony Gordon, and you turned it into a Gakpo show for no reason.
No, there was.
Yeah, we having a nice conversation today. Yeah, it was about Kvara, and you wanted to turn this show into a Gakpo conversation.
What I said was relevant, though.
No, because we were talking. The question was, is it Grav? Who would you take? Right? We've gone Gordon. You can say Kvara. You were next. You should have said Kvara is my option and give him your reasons, and we would have got it. Fair enough.
If I don't agree with your opinion, I'm going to challenge you on it. You know.
But I was asked a question.
Yeah,
and I gave you an answer to mine.
Yeah, if I don't agree with the answer, I'm going to challenge you on the answer. No,
you can challenge as much as you want, and I gave you my answers for it. You wanted to talk output. I gave you output, but then you changed the output argument to positional arguments, or playing on the left hand side, playing goalkeeper. Well, that's your fault, then, isn't it? Don't say to me you want to talk to me about GAs. Then
you're the one that always speaks about stats, not
exactly.
me.
So then today you thought you'd be clever and come to me with GAs, but then changed it to start talking about positions.
Because when I'm speaking to you, Gene, I have to talk like you. So I have to talk about.
No, you can't talk. You can't talk like me. Don't try and be me, because you can't be me.
I'm not trying to be you. Football is a lot more than stats. There's a lot more than stats.
I think I know that. I've watched it a lot longer than you. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. So you should know better.
A lot longer. Exactly. I am.
So you should know better than me, but you clearly don't. You should know better than me, but you don't.
Okay, as I conclude the show, this guy's the one that said Salah is
the
best player in the league. Salah, man.
Let's go through Muhammad Kibria's super chat. He says
he thinks he won.
Why defend when you can outscore Jake? We might be having this lad playing centre back soon. You never know. But anyway, thank you very much, Malcolm. Yeah, get a room. Don't worry, they'll be going in backstage this moment we leave you guys. But like and subscribe. Thank you very much. We give you insight. We give you a bit of entertainment as well. Everyone wants to see round 369 between Sarib and Sheen, and you got it tonight. And there'll be plenty of more rounds. Call these a few jabs. We'll see who lands a knockout punch very, very soon. But thank you very much. Smash a like and subscribe to the channel. There was over 500 of you, and there's still 470 of you still in the building. What's the schedule, Sarib, for the next week or so?
We don't do schedules on camera.
I think we deserve to be talking about schedules, because I think we've gone at 8 out of 9 nights, so which is good going, to be fair.
I mean,
we've done pretty well.
I love this work rate. If you want to carry on, I don't mind. I'll go for the rest of the time if you want. But I think you guys deserve a break. What we have to do this week, and we will do, is do a call-in show, because we want to hear a lot of your guys' thoughts on Liverpool season so far. It is exactly the midpoint of the season for Liverpool. We're in January now. The transfer window's open. Who you want Liverpool to sign? Where you think Liverpool are going to go? We'd love to hear a lot from you guys. So make sure you tune in for that, guys.
Okay, people, thank you very much. Have a good night and take care. You never know when Joycey and David Ornstein do sometimes tweet about Liverpool. You never know. We could wake up tomorrow and Liverpool agreed a fee for Kvaratskhelia. Anyway, we see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.